Hi guys, and welcome to my diary. So this is what you look like the day after a 100 miler. Clearly I survived. Clearly I'm a little bit worse for wear, but I'm alive, I'm talking, I'm speaking, so that's one good thing. I'm gonna do my diary a little bit like I did Comrades, where I do bits and pieces just because there's just so much to tell you, because now you can imagine I had so much to tell you from Comrades. And now this is double the distance, so I've almost got like double the amount of things to tell you. So I'll fill you in slowly but surely. You know, whatever comes into my mind. I mean, it's crazy. There's just like how much can happen in like 26 hours. Obviously you can tell I'm rather happy. But for those of you who don't know and haven't seen on social media yet, I won. Yay! I'm so thrilled I did it. I really am. I am so glad. Yes, it is to do with the winning. Of course it's to do with the winning. I love winning. That's just a foregone conclusion. Yes, I hated it. I was in so much pain. I was just like, how much pain can I take? But if you were speaking to me during the race, or even just after the race, I was like, no, I don't think I can ever push my body or do that ever again. But now I'm kind of like, maybe. And it's only a day later, and my body actually doesn't feel so bad today. But I'll tell you about all the pain, I'll tell you about everything, because there is just really that much to fill you in. Oh, and I've already forgotten to tell you, I mean, that's just, and I'm in such a daze. Oh my goodness, my brain is just like everywhere. I couldn't even drive today. Like I was driving, and I was like, Tima, where are you driving? And I like nearly crashed, and no, not really need credit. So that's an over-exaggeration. I didn't know the wall sensors and parking. I was a bit like, where am I parking? I was like, oops, I forgot the indicates and that type of thing. But I got 18:43, which I think is a really good time. And I won overall, so I didn't just win ladies, and there were actually ladies this year, but I won the men's as well. So I am pretty chuffed with myself, I'm not gonna lie. So firstly, I just want to thank absolutely everybody. I don't even know where to start with thank yous because there's just so many people to thank. It's amazing how many people support you, and you know, you get people to run with you. I have my supports on the side, the organizers, the refs. Everyone is just so supportive, and I promise you, it just makes it so much easier to run. That's why I'm like, when everyone goes, oh yeah, go try these other trail races and things, I'm going, but I don't want to be all alone. I like all the company, I like everyone motivating me and sort of being, you know, having my support there. I think that's why I do this race, and that's why I can do this race, is I do have all the supports, and it makes it so nice. But I can't name people by names. Firstly, I don't know everyone's name, and second of all, I'm gonna forget somebody, and then I'm just gonna feel terrible. So you all know who you are, and I just want to thank you so much. It really does take a village, and not even just the people that were at the race, sort of all the people that support me behind the scenes, that weren't there, that work with me, and just sort of support me on a day-to-day basis. You guys, I can't do this type of stuff without you. So as most of you know, I hummed and hawed about doing this race. I really didn't know if I should do it or not. Well, now I'm very happy I did it, but at the time I wasn't sure. It's so far, and anything can go wrong and anything can go right. I really did want to defend my title. I saw that little bit of pressure was also, you know, harsh. And you know, I want to make the right decisions in running and things. I want to have like the best sort of runs that I can have. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the race. So I know everyone was like, well, you can't just make a decision 2 weeks in advance, because I mean, you need to plan, you need to prep. That's just not me. The more I wing it, and the more I don't actually think about these type of things, the better I run. And it actually kind of proved the point. Everyone was like, oh yeah, what about tapering and da da da, and oh yeah, no, or you're not trained for it, you haven't been training for it. The thing is, I put in a lot of miles and a lot of training all the time anyway, so I am always pretty much trained and ready to go, which I guess is a good thing and a bad thing. But so I was ready to go. I just needed to sort of pull the trigger, and now I'm sort of thrilled I did. Yeah, so we got there. So the race started on Friday at 4 p.m. So we got there probably at about 12, very early in my opinion, but my dad was like having ants, and he was like, no, we need to go get a spot, we need to set up, and da da da. I always feel useless though, because like I had to sit and sort of rest and take it easy, and everyone's sort of doing everything around me. And yes, I know I'm Princess Tegan, but I'm Princess Tegan that does everything for herself. I'm not Princess Tegan who sits there and goes, oh, will you pass me my shoes? Yeah, will you do this for me and that? No, that's not me. I don't like feeling like that. So it's a little bit hard for me to sit still. But so the boys and everything put up the tent, and they sort of, we had a fridge. We were very well organized this year, so we had a fridge, and we sort of got the electricity and got all set up nicely. And our friend Johnny, who set up everything for us, was there, and he got our spot ready, and he had our gazebo up, and everything was all ready and good to go. And I sort of just chilled there for a bit, had a bit of lunch, and got ready for the race starting at 4 p.m. So the race started at 4, and they had like a school relay at the same time as our race started. It was really cool because you had a lot of activity, and yes, some of these kids can run, oh my goodness, but it pushed me to go a little bit too fast, because now you got like these little kids sort of like running past you as if you're not moving, and you know, my ego can't really handle that, so I ran out a little bit fast. Whether it hurt me in the end or not, I don't know. So I had a bit of a fast start, but I was running well, feeling strong. I never ever intended on going out and winning the whole thing. That wasn't even in my head. I really didn't think that was possible. I honestly didn't. I thought there's no ways. I was just happy if I won the women, and I really wanted to defend my title, and I really wanted to win the ladies race. And there were 3 ladies running, and I know 2 of the ladies are like 100-miler runners, so I knew I had my work cut out there. And then this other lady, she was just going like the clappers, and I thought, oh jeez, I'm in trouble here. So yeah, so there was a lot of competition, and I just had to go down, and I just sort of said to myself, okay Tegan, let's just run, put one foot in front of the other, and let's go. And I just played mental games with myself the whole way, like I did last year. That's kind of my thing. That's what I do. I just sort of pick up some number, and I've got to pass this many people before I can do this, and wada. So I decided I would run my first marathon, and then it was supper time. So I ran my first marathon a little bit fast, maybe, because I finished the first marathon under 4 hours. So that was maybe a little bit fast, seeing that I still had another 120 k's to go after that. But then I decided it was food time. Worst decision ever. So I started eating, and I had like a half a pasta salad, but a small one, like one of those small little Woolies ones. And then I started running again, and I started feeling very ill. First I started feeling nauseous, and then I had to take a trip to the bathroom. Yeah, not good. And by this time my legs were already hurting and things, and I ran past my dad, and I was like, oh, did you miss me? Because now obviously I've been gone for a little while. It wasn't just, like 6 or 7 minutes before I came around. So I was like, oh no, my stomach's not feeling well. I've just had Valoid, I'm feeling nauseous and just blah. And he's like, oh, well, why don't you just stop? I was like, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I should just stop. But I thought to myself, no, I can't do that. I must push on. But it's so easy at that stage. The second you've got some sort of excuse to stop, you're kind of like, yeah, let me just use it. I want to stop. And I must be honest, I didn't want to stop, because I thought, yes, if my legs are already sore, imagine what they're gonna feel like in like 10 hours time. Because at this time it was like 4.5 hours into the race, so I still had a very long way to go. But I continued on, and within the next 3-4 k's I started feeling better and got into a little bit of a groove. I had a lot of people running with me, which was really nice, so that I kind of took turns, and they ran with me and they spoke to me, and that just, it takes your mind off of it a little bit, and then you run on your own a little bit, just you kind of catch your breath. And so everything just kind of worked out in my favor. There was a guy, so by this time I'd already overlapped the ladies quite a few times, so I was quite well ahead. And if you think about it, I was about, I think I was about 14 laps ahead of the second lady. And 14 laps is 14 kilometers, and that's far. That really is a far distance to be ahead. And I thought, like if I stop running right now and I don't run another step, at this time it's going to take them at least an hour and a half to catch up to where I am at this very moment. That's if I don't take another step. So I had that in my mind, so I was like, okay, cool, I'm good to go, just keep going, I'm in a good position for the ladies and things. And then I was about 2 kilometers behind the leading guy. And I thought to myself, 2 kilometers is so far. I'm never going to catch this guy. This guy's going like the clappers. Let him go. It's fine. And then, like the music gets switched off. It's getting late. People start going to bed. The vibe sort of dies down, and it's those sort of graveyard hours. They are rough hours. They really are. To get through those are... See, that's like the mental games I play with myself, because those are the hours that I know are going to be the hardest. And I'm like, so it's sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? But it's like a mark I need to get to. So once I'm there, I'm like, okay, cool, this is going to be a rough one. This is your rough marathon. Get through this, and you've broken the back of it. And then I also sort of play, okay, I've done a marathon. Okay, I'm a third of the way. Okay, I'm halfway. Ooh, I've just done comrades. Now, sort of during the graveyard shift, I had some guys run with me, which was really nice. They just kept me motivated, kept me going. My brother stayed awake. My dad tried to stay awake. Shame, he was so cute. Because it's dark, like in the one corner. He took a light and he put this light in the corner. And he's like, just run to the light. That's where I'll be. Just run to the light. And it sounds terrible because, like run to the light. It's like that's where you want to run away from, because I always say, oh yeah, no, don't go into the light. Don't go into the light. And yeah, I'm running to the light. So I'm like, my daddy's going to be there. So, but yeah, anyways. So I ran to the lights, and my dad was always there, and shame, he was so sweet. He was always like, I'm so proud of you, you're doing so well, and he was so motivating. And then my brother was around the corner, always having my stuff ready. No matter what I wanted, it was always there, it was always ready. I didn't eat much after my disaster. I had like a bite of something here, bites of something there, but I pretty much lived off sugar. I know a lot of people are like, no, you can't do that, you're gonna be sugar highs and sugar lows. It doesn't happen to me, okay? I like sugar. It gives me what I need, because I started off and I was like, oh no, I'm going to drink my sugar-free drinks and I'll get the calories I need and stuff from food. No, I'm not getting calories from food. Changed to sugar. Brother had to go out and buy some more sugary drinks, and I lived off a bit of condensed milk as well, and just like a few pretzels. But I couldn't really eat the pretzels because my mouth was so dry. So just like, have you ever tried to put cinnamon in your mouth? That's what it was like for me. I was like, I can't chew this. I need water or something to try and wash it down. So yeah, that was sort of my eating habits. So now graveyard shift, running through the night. I watching my laps and things, and the guys start telling me, no, I'm 2 laps ahead of this other guy. He stopped and had a sleep and things like that. So I was like, oh wow, okay, cool. But I didn't think too much of it, because 2 laps, when I was ahead, 2 laps is nothing. When I'm behind 2 laps is huge. I know, typical Tegan thinking. But I also thought, like I'm running very slowly, whereas even now, I was checking the other day, not the other day, I was checking this morning, sort of my times on my laps and other people's times on their laps. And the thing is, our times were very similar, if not sometimes some of their laps were faster, but a lot of them stopped for like 20 minutes. My longest lap, I think, was 12 minutes, and that's when I had bathroom issues. So that's the difference, is I just keep going and going and going. I'm not fast, I'm slow. Like, you watch me run, I mean, it's actually quite embarrassing, I'm slow. But I just keep going and going and going and going. Even when I'm eating, I'm walking and eating. I did stop once because I had stuff in my shoes. Because we're running on grass, and oh my goodness, this grass is so hard to run on. It is so hard. And especially this grass, it's not like a track, it's like uneven, and so my feet were hurting so bad, and I had a blister within the first 40 Ks as well. And I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this blister. I must just leave it alone and just hope it's gonna be okay. So that's rough. And now I completely lost my train of thoughts as to what I was telling you before this. But yeah, anyway, so this other guy was like now 2 Ks behind me. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep going and going. And I noticed he was struggling, because you have to run past their camp, the whole time. And he was stopped and getting sprays and all sorts of stuff. And I must say, I must thank him, because he did push me to go. Because it became quite like a little bit of a mental game, because you don't want this person to pass you, but you've also got to walk a little bit, and you've also got to have a little bit of food, and you know where they are, and you can kind of spot them on the track, and you've got people telling you where they are and how many laps behind they are, and then my brother's telling me, no, he's running 5 minutes a K, you're gonna have to pick up the pace, and I'm panicking, and yeah, so it was quite something. But by the time the sun was coming up, and at about, I would say probably about 4:30, they started, for the next lot of runners, people started coming in, and that's a big event. There are lots of people running this team events, and then there's a lot of activity, so it's nice. So it kind of gives you a breath of fresh air after this. And it was freezing cold, hey? But my body was so hot. So I think, you know, you run so far that your body's heated up so much that I didn't get cold. And for me to not get cold is like something else. I mean, this is the girl that sleeps with hot water bottles and, you know, wears 50 million jackets. So I ran in my short sleeve. Yes, my short sleeve. So the people started arriving, and it was just nice to have a little bit of energy around the track, and I knew a lot of people that were coming in, and they were just all cheering for me, saying, come on Tegan, because now I'm this female leading the whole race. So people sort of really get behind you, and it's really nice. I mean, like, I really like it. I do feed off a crowd's energy, and look, I mean, who doesn't want the supports, and who doesn't like that? I mean, honestly. So I just kept going, but I was hitting a few walls, I must be honest. But when I was hitting these walls, I had like my really good friends run with me, and they were just such stars. They're like sort of, I mean, and they're doing their own race, but they are there running with me, supporting me, saying, Tegan, come on, we can do this, and taking my mind off of it. And when I needed to chase this guy, they were like, okay, there he is, let's chase him, let's pass him, let's put the nail in the coffin, you know, type of thing. And I was now like 10, 11 Ks ahead of this guy, and he was still trying to do his 5 minutes a K thing, and I could slowly see, you know, he was starting to fall apart, you know, starting to walk a lot more, he was starting to stop all the time. So I was like, no, now is the time to really sort of kill it, and just keep going. And every time I mean, you know, if you ever watch this, I think you'd find it hilarious. But so every time I ran past his camp, I would be like, have a little bit of smile on my face, and like, you know, nothing bothers me, and run, you know, as if there's, you know, as if I'm 100% okay. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm dying, I hate this, I just, you know, if a bus would hit me right now, I'd be very happy. But you know, you gotta fake it. It's all part of the mental game. And I love the challenge. I actually thrived on it, you know. The more, like, I hated that they kept telling me, okay Tegan, no, you haven't won it yet, and because this is about 120 Ks now that I've run, and I think, okay, yeah, you know, if he's so far behind, if he's like 10 Ks behind, surely he cannot catch me. But my brain is so fuzzy and it's not working properly, and I think my family's lying to me, so I'm asking some of my running friends to check for me, and then we working it out in our heads, and they're like, no, he can't catch you. But still in my mind, I was like, well, we'll just keep going until we get to the end, you know. So we just kept going, and I had a few new faces around, and they were running. Some people are lovely, they move out of the way for you, and then other people you just gotta go around, and you're like, you know what, I've run so much further than you, could you not just move out the way? But yeah, I understand, you know, they've got as much right to be there as I do. It's just, I think I'm a little bit more exhausted than them at that point. But then at 100, I think he was on 128 Ks and he pulled out. And I think someone eventually let me know at about 132, 133 Ks. But I'd already run a few times around, and I'd seen him at his camp sitting with his feet up, and I was like, no, there's no way this guy can catch me now. And then it became a sort of, can I set this? Because he's got the record, okay? He's got the record for the run, and I knew I was never going to break that. He's like at 17 hours. But it's not for this course, it's for a different course or something like that. For this course, I was like, okay, cool, I can actually set this record. And not just the ladies' record, because I had the ladies' record, but the overall record. And I was like, okay, well, cool, let's just keep going. What's the worst? I pop a few painkillers, and I just kept having a few painkillers here and there, because I just didn't feel like they were working. But you're in so much pain. I can't actually describe the pain to you. I'll tell you more about the pain later. But I just kept going, and yeah, it's funny because like when you're at that point, like a kilometer seems like 100 kilometers. It just seems so far. You're going thinking, how on earth am I actually gonna finish this? And like your kilometers are taking you like 8 minutes, and it's going, really, how slow is time going? but you just keep going, and you know there are other people there suffering along with you. And I got to a point and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna set this record. I was like, yay, this is awesome. And then every now and then a song comes on that I like, so I get a little bit more speed, but then my mouth is dry, I've been talking too much. So I get to about, I think I've got about 15 Ks left to go, and I know I've broken the back of this. Well, obviously I've broken the back, but I know, you know, I'm there, I've done it. If I really want to, no one's gonna catch me. I can walk if I want to, but I'm not gonna walk. It's like, Tegan, you know, every now and then you can have a little bit of a walk if you have to, have a sip of something and go. So yeah, and then I got to about 3 Ks left, and some people thought I still had a few more than that, so I was like, I've only got like 3 Ks left to go, it's almost done. And then when I had 2 kilometers left, my friend Johnny says to me, okay, Tegan, you need to break 8:45, and I'm like, well, I have no idea what time I'm on. So I went and I ran like under a 6-minute K, which to me was flippin' awesome. At that stage, to run under 6 minutes a K is quite something. And then my last lap, I always give a bit of a go, and I've got my flags and everyone's cheering for you, and you just go. And then I come down to the final straight and I'm just like, okay, stop this, I'm gonna sprint, and I got up, I checked on my watch, I got up to 18 Ks an hour. I was like, okay, that's not too bad for running for 18 hours. 18 Ks an hour, that works for me. And yeah, that was pretty much my race. So let's talk pain. Oh my word, I don't even really know where to start, because the pain sort of starts at 30 Ks and continues on for like the next 12 hours, even more than 12 hours, for like the next 15 hours. You are in pain. You find pain in places that you never really even knew you had. Yeah, so it started off with a few stomach problems and a bit of nausea. Thank goodness that stuff went away, because I don't know if I can't run through that. I really can't. It's just really unpleasant. Not that being in pain is pleasant, it's really not. But your legs start to get heavy and they start to get sore, and they get really heavy on the grass. Running on grass, I was naughty. I had a bit of a run on the cement now. And I felt so good just to have that bit of a spring. And it's, you know, your energy is not just drained by this grass. Then I get rashes on my legs and my feet from the grass. I had got a blister by 40 Ks. I already had 2 blisters on my toes. So it just snowballs, and it just goes from one thing to the next, and it just gets worse and worse, and you just gotta keep running through it, and you just gotta put it in the back of your mind and just put one foot in front of the other and just keep going. I mean, my arms, so then I'm running with my arms down, because my arms get tired from just being bent, and your shoulders get sore, and I mean, this is terrible, but even like my bum cheeks were chafing, so I had to put Vaseline, and you know, like you just don't know what to do with yourself. I mean, you have to try and think of a place that's not hurting. My eyes are even hurting because I got dust in my eyes, so it's just a complete disaster zone. But if you can put your mind, if you can sort of switch your mind off, is what you got to do. Is you got to know going in that it's going to be painful. And I promise you, when I was running, I was like, I really don't remember it being this painful. I was like, I'm sure. I was like, I saw a car coming in, and I was like, well, maybe this car will just hit me and end my misery, because you are just in so much pain. It's horrible. But somehow, I don't know, and I don't have the answers. I don't know how you find a way through it. I really don't. But especially when you have the option to stop, it's not like something, you know, I don't know, like if you're in a crash or something like that, you don't have an option. You know, you getting better and things, but you have no option to say, okay, I can end my suffering right now. Whereas when you're running, you can end that suffering. You can just go, okay, cool, done. I'm not suffering anymore. And somehow you've got to be like, you know what? The suffering is going to be worth it in the end. And that's kind of what I did. Yeah, I took a few painkillers and things like that just to sort of numb the pain as we went. But yeah, I just pushed through it, and then afterwards, oh my goodness. So last year I made the mistake of going to lie down as I was done, and that was the worst idea ever, because then I couldn't bend my legs and I couldn't move. So this time I actually just walked around a little bit, and that worked out so much better. but I just wanted to chop my legs off. I kept saying, can I stab them or can I do something? Because they were just so sore. I didn't know. I mean, I promise you, I was sitting with my legs over my head. I was sitting with my legs on the windscreen. I didn't know what to do with them. They just wouldn't stop aching. But nothing sort of a cold swim and a hot shower couldn't fix. And now I'm actually feeling pretty good, I must be honest. I really thought I'd have a lot more pain, and I haven't. I do think I have to be gentle with the body and not rush back into things, because that's obviously what I want to do, but I'm not going to, because I know I've done a lot of damage, and I accept that. I accept that, you know, I'm wrecking stuff, but I also know my body will fix it. I just need to be patient with it and give it a bit of time. But I must be honest, I am just so happy with how I have recovered. I feel good. I'm not sleeping very well. I'm sleeping terribly, to be honest. I don't know why, but I'm always a terrible sleeper, so I can't blame that on the 100 miler. But yeah, I keep taking my vitamins, lots of chocolate cake, and, well, not chocolate cake, because chocolate cake's not my favorite, but lots of baked goods, and I think I'll be good to go. So a question I get asked a lot is, what's harder, the 100 miler or Comrades? Well, that becomes pretty obvious, obviously the 100 miler, but no, not really. There's some really tough things about Comrades. Well, obviously Comrades is flippin' tough. But where Comrades beats the 100 milers, Comrades is a race. Comrades is something you want to better your time, and you really, you know, you go out there and you push yourself, and whereas the 100 miler, you just want to get through. You sort of go, okay, cool, I've just got to put one foot in front of the other. I've just got to keep going and going and going. And that's actually what I'm good at. I'm good at just saying, you know what, shut up and go. And I'll moan the whole way and whatnot, but I will just keep on going. And that's where I'm strong. That's always where I've been strong, is just, I've got that sort of dogmatic personality, and I just go. Whereas I struggle a little bit more with the speed and, you know, sort of pushing myself where I can't breathe. I hate that feeling. I hate feeling like it's not for me. So that's where it's really tough on Comrades, because you're trying to get a good time and stuff, so you are feeling like that, and then you fatigue your muscles faster because you are pushing so much harder. So they are both really tough. Yes, if it came down to it, obviously the 100 miler is going to be harder. You have to run through the middle of the night. You have to run almost double the distance. It's going to be tougher. But it becomes a completely different mental game, and I think it takes a different person to do 100 miles and a different person to do like a 10K or 5K. I suck at 10Ks and 5Ks. I mean, I feel like I'm dying. I'm like, this is like the worst idea ever. I'd rather go run for 18 hours than run a 5K in 18 minutes. Yeah, okay, when I was running 100 miler, that's what was going through my mind. I was like, no, actually, I'd rather be on the track right now. Rather give me speed. I'd rather be a speed athlete than an endurance athlete right now. So yeah, there's a lot of pain involved in a 100 miler, but there's a lot of pain involved in any sort of distance, depending on how you push yourself. So I pretty much think all distances are tough. It's just a different kind of tough. But if it really came down to it and you said, okay, what's tougher, Comrades, the 100 miler? I would definitely say the 100 miler, but I say the 100 miler helps me get through Comrades, because when I'm struggling on Comrades, I'm like, Tegan, you know what, keep quiet. If you can run 100 miles, shut up and keep going on Comrades. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it'll work out for me better next year at Comrades, and I'll have this 100 miler in the back of my mind going, okay, Tegan, you know, you remember that pain, so you're not at that pain now, so keep going. So I guess now the only real question left is where to next, and the answer is I have no idea. I don't know. It's so hard. I really don't know. I know I'm always so confused. It's terrible, but I don't know. Like, some people think I can be faster and I can do like a better. Some people think I can run a better Comrades, or I can do a better marathon and things. But I'm not so sure. I don't know if I'm not really fast. I'm really not. I'm not fast. I'm good at just keeping on and keep on going. But yeah, so I don't really know, and obviously I can't just run 100 milers all the time. And even that, it's not a very fast time. I mean, if you look at other times and things, I'm not very fast. But it's definitely something that I'm gonna remember forever. It's something I'll never do again. When am I ever gonna beat the guys again? Like, completely. It was like a once-off thing, but I'm very, very proud of it, and I love it. And it's kind of weird, because you always, you know, you don't really enjoy the achievement. I'm thoroughly enjoying the achievement, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, what's next? And I don't want to be like that. You need to actually just enjoy what you've achieved for a little bit. But I suppose it's human nature, you know, we always want to improve, we always want to do better, and especially me, I just want to, I don't know, I guess you just want to live life to the absolute full and get everything out you possibly can, and I suppose there are worse things to be. But yeah, so as for what's next, I don't know. When I know, I'll let you know. But as you remember, and everyone keeps commenting on this, yeah, how long before the 100 miler did you decide that you were going to do it? I was like, yeah, like less than 2 weeks. But to be fair, I was ready for it. So it's not as though I went, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to go swim the English Channel. That is probably something I probably would do, but thankfully you have to qualify for those type of things, so it's not like I can just sort of go and do that. But we did go look at bikes for in case of a triathlon and things, but that's sort of like pie in the sky. There's no seriousness behind that just yet. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to me. I know I've been going on and on and on, so I'm going to leave you now and send you lots of love, and thank you for all your support. You guys all mean the world to me. I'll see you next week.